Hey, what is up, guys? This is Bo, or CarlHungus712, and today we're going to do a breakdown of the Call of Duty Vanguard beta. Obviously, this first weekend here, we're on the PlayStation only, and then next weekend we'll get to see it on PC and Xbox as well. The gameplay in the background is on a PlayStation 5. I was lucky enough to grab one of those when they first came out, so this will be the best looking the game can be this first weekend. Also, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button if you guys like Call of Duty content. I do play some other games on the channel, but if you like COD news and breakdowns and different things like that, definitely check the channel out if you'd like. But anyways, I kind of wanted to do a breakdown of the beta because I've seen a lot of people talking about the beta on Twitter, YouTube videos, and different things like that. And just kind of give my perspective, somebody who's played COD since Black Ops 2. I played the game competitively for a few years. I still do once in a while. I'll hop into a game battle or play League Play and stuff like that. But just somebody who I think I have a pretty good feel for, you know, what's good in the game, what's not good, if things are overpowered or broken, just different things like that. So I figured we'd do kind of a quick breakdown. To start with, the graphics of the game, obviously we're working on the Modern Warfare 2019 engine. So far, the graphics, I think they're toned down a bit, which usually tends to be the case in betas. I don't know if you guys remember, but when Cold War came out last year, the alpha and the betas looked, I thought, terrible. I mean, that game obviously didn't, since it wasn't on the exact same engine, it didn't look quite as good as Modern Warfare, but I think that's just something to expect. With the beta. So again, if you guys are, you know, seeing this gameplay and it doesn't look, you know, as crisp and stuff as Modern Warfare, I think that's what the problem is. Again, I'm not sure. We'll obviously see here in a couple of months when the game's released. But again, the game looks all right to me. Not great, not terrible, but you know, looks all right. One thing I will say on the beta that I've noticed so far, even playing on a PlayStation 5, I have a lot of problems seeing people, especially on the snow map, which I will have gameplay of all three maps in the background, so you guys can kind of see basically how the maps look. But that snow map, there's like a haze or a blue filter or something over the map, and it's almost impossible to see people at a distance on there. There are some settings that I did turn off. There's a lot of blur settings, so if you guys haven't played the game yet, or if you have and you're wondering how can I make the game look a little better, there are some blur settings you can turn off to help basically the clarity of the game. But that is one thing. One of my biggest complaints is it's really tough to see people on this game, and there's a lot of times when I'm getting shot and you can see the bullet tracers coming at you, and you're looking up and you're kind of shooting at the bullet tracers, but you know, you can't see the person. And that's, like I said, that's probably my one of my biggest knocks on the game so far is you know, clarity. It's very difficult to see people. One of the most important things, in my opinion anyways, to make a Call of Duty great are maps. The maps have to be good. Sometimes great maps can make up for kind of shitty gameplay. I remember Thunder made a comment about this one day, and he was right on it. You know, when you go back and play World at War, I think World at War had some great maps. The gun balancing was not great. That's probably one of the worst games for gun balancing, but because the maps were so good, they were so fun, and they had just great flow, great spawns. It made the game fun to play, even though the game was, you know, not the best on balance. You know, everybody ran around with an MP40, but yeah, I mean, the maps are probably one of the most important, if not the most important thing. To me anyways, the three maps I've played so far, and we might be getting one more, I can't remember for sure if we're going to get a fourth map. But the maps for me so far have been pretty underwhelming. I don't think the maps are like the worst maps I've ever played, but they're just, to me, they don't remind me of COD maps again. I will say they are better than Modern Warfare's last year. I still don't think we'll ever see a map as bad as Ground Zeroed. I think that's probably the worst fucking map I've ever played. Excuse my language there, but I just, that map was awful in the beta, and I can't believe they put something in the game like that. But again, I don't think the maps again are as bad as Modern Warfare 2019, but I don't think they're honestly much better so far. The maps are most of them are very large, and there's a lot of elevation in these maps. You'll see, especially in the hotel map, you're basically on the rooftop, but then you can drop down inside from like 15 different angles. So you kind of have a similar problem in this game that you did in Modern Warfare, where you can be shot from 15 different places all at once. And again, that's one thing that concerns me. If all the other maps are just like some of these ones here, as you can see, you know, in the background, again, when I kind of slow it down and I'm checking all these different head glitches where these people can be, and if I pick the wrong head glitch and they're on one of the other ones, I'm dead instantly. You know, and that's, again, one thing that worries me with the maps is that, again, they're not the worst maps I've ever played, but to me, they've been pretty underwhelming anyways. And like I said, I kind of like to know in the comments section, for those who have played the game, or, you know, those who are kind of watching the gameplay here in the background, you know, do you kind of agree with that? You know, basically we have 3 maps. We have a jungle map, we have that hotel map, and then we've got that snow map. And again, the same thing with the snow map as well. There's a million different windows. There's a lot of head glitches out in the courtyard, on the street. There's, like I said, again, windows everywhere. There's areas where you can break out, you know, knock out those wood panels and different things. And again, it's kind of the same thing with you get from Modern Warfare 2019 again, is that you can be shot from 400 different places all at once. Now, because there's so many head glitches and different things here, you do have a decent amount of cover, but it just makes it just slows the game down so much. You don't get this COD feeling. And again, some of that's going to also be because it's, you know, the first weekend of the beta, it's only on the PlayStation. You get the sweatiest people on the planet playing this. We're all trying to go for big gameplays, probably a lot of YouTubers and stuff. But again, the maps to me have been pretty underwhelming so far. Luckily, we have 16 coming with the game. They say 20, but the other 4 for that kind of battle royale gunfight mashup game that we played during the alpha. So hopefully some of the other maps are better. But so far, anyways, like I said, the maps have been pretty lackluster. Gunplay, this was one of the strengths, I thought, of Modern Warfare 2019. When I go back and think about that, the guns just felt good. They felt meaty. They felt, you know, I mean, if like I said, I don't know how to describe it much more than that, but the gunplay just felt great in that game. They felt smooth. They sounded great. They looked great. They felt great. Gunfights just felt good, in my opinion, in that game. Even though you died really fast on 2019, the gunplay just felt great, and it was kind of neat having all the attachments. I'm still an old school guy. I still would prefer basically not having 487 attachments per gun, because again, you're just using the best setups. Most people are anyways. So there's always going to be a best setup, a best grip to use, a best ammo conversion to use, a best sight to use. You know what I mean? So even though it's kind of neat, you know, how you can customize guns basically however you want, there's always going to be a best gun. So again, I would honestly prefer, you know, the way it used to be with quick draw stock grip, you know, sometimes a sight on a gun, and, you know, call it good. But again, the gunplay isn't too bad in this game anyways, but we'll break down the problems with the gunplay here. And one of those is I feel like there's a lack of toughness. When you get shot in this game, as you can see in the background, your gun's going all over the place. Also, too, when you're getting shot, your screen gets kind of, I don't know, fuzzy and foggy, and it almost feels like somebody's shooting a grenade launcher at you at all points. It's like shit's blowing up around you, and it's hard to see. And like I said, if you're actually getting hit, if your character's actually getting hit with bullets, your gun is flying all over the place. So that's something they can definitely fix. But one thing that's kind of made the game less desirable to play is that kind of view kick, lack of toughness type of thing. And then like I said, it's just hard to see when you're getting shot. It's just hard to see. But again, I think that's something that they can change before the game comes out. I don't think that's like engine breaking or game breaking type of thing, but definitely something that Sledgehammer needs to think about going forward, especially with the gunplay, because again, if the maps are lackluster and the gunplay's lackluster, there's not going to be a hell of a lot more to, that's going to make players want to play this game. So, again, in maps, you can't really change, obviously, with the game coming out here in 2 months. So I think the gameplay is where this game's going to have to really make up for, if the maps are all like these maps, just kind of lackluster maps. The gunplay is going to have to be really good. Kind of getting on to the next point here. There was a new mode in this, a couple of new things that they added. You might see some in the game. I think you'll see it in the gameplay in the background. I'll put up. It's a new mode called Patrol. I've had a lot of fun with it. It's basically hardpoint, but it's constantly moving. The hardpoint's constantly active, and it just constantly moves around the map. I think that could be a really fun mode to play. We'll see if that might be maybe the third mode in competitive this year. I don't know if it will be. Again, it just kind of depends on spawns and how things work out. But that's one game mode I found to be pretty fun, and I definitely recommend you guys trying to play it during the beta to see if you guys like it as well. But again, just kind of a fun mode. It's constantly moving around the map, so you get to see the whole map. You're constantly moving, trying to hold spawns and different things. So that's been fun. They've also split the modes up to where they're kind of population dependent. So basically you have what's called your tactical mode, which is 6v6, normal 6v6. Then you've got modes with more people like 10v10 or 12v12 on the map. The one thing I'll say with this game is that I've kind of struggled to find that sweet spot. To me, traditional 6v6 on these three maps that we have right now, I think it's too slow. But then, like, for example, that hotel map, you get into 10v10 or 12v12, and it is absolute chaos. Like I said, it's hard to figure out where people are coming from. It's just everybody's everywhere. So I think those type of modes, they'll be really fun for people that like to grind the game and get camos and different things like that. And I think, like I said, once connections and stuff are fixed, those modes will be a little bit more fun. But again, so far those modes have been pretty chaotic, pretty crazy. And but again, it's funny. It's hard to find that happy medium, because it's either you play traditional 6v6 and these maps are too fucking big and slow, or you go to complete chaos and it's spawn, die, spawn behind a group of people spawning, and then get a bunch of kills. So, and again, that's kind of something I'd like to hear from you guys. If you guys who have played the game, or if you've been watching it, have you kind of noticed that as well? Like I said, that's just something I've noticed, in the gameplay in the background, as you'll see, because I think I'll definitely have some hotel gameplay, and I'll try to put up some of the gameplay with the, like the 12v12 mode on there. Anyways, with skill-based matchmaking, I can't tell you for sure if it's active or not. The games are sweaty, and I think that's just because it's the first weekend, and usually the people who are playing right at the start, those are going to be people who, content creators, pros, people who play the game constantly, good players. I've been in some lobbies with some pros already. So, I mean, I've seen some of the sweatiest lobbies I've ever played in, But again, I don't think it's skill-based matchmaking necessarily. I think it's just, again, it's the first weekend. Everybody's trying to get good gameplays. I get it. But again, that makes the game kind of less fun, because again, there's been times when I've tried to use other weapons, especially snipers, and you'll see that 3-line rifle. I think it's the first sniper unlocked. Without any attachments on it, the ADS time is just brutally slow. So if you're not sitting and doing traditional sniping like in Battlefield or something like that, you're not quickscoping with that gun, and you're not playing aggressively with that gun. That's how slow it is. And also some of the other rifles and stuff like that, they're just difficult to use. Kind of the meta weapons right now, STG, BAR, MP40. Use those guns there, you're going to be fine. Some people have been using the Thompson submachine gun and having good luck. I didn't really have good luck with it. I think it's just completely underwhelming and outclassed by the MP40. So again, if a little tip for you guys going forward, when you play this game for the first time, use one of those 3 weapons. One thing I would recommend too, even though you create a class once you hit level 4, I've still been using a lot of the pre-made classes because there's attachments on those guns. Because that's another thing I've noticed too. When you have guns that just don't have the attachments on them and people are running around with those preset classes, again, it's hard to compete. So just be aware that if you're not running the STG, the BAR, or the MP40, you're going to have to just play a little bit. You're going to have to play a little differently. The other guns in the game so far to me have been pretty underwhelming. Again, I haven't used all the guns, so I can't say for sure how good the other guns are. It's just, again, it's difficult to try to unlock attachments on underwhelming guns when people are using just really good weapons that are, in the preset classes. But again, getting back to skill-based matchmaking, kind of tying that in, I don't know for sure if it's in the game or not right now during the beta. But you're going to be in some sweaty lobbies. And you do disconnect after every match as well, so you're not playing the same players every time. So that's why it could be in the game, but again, I'm not 100% sure, so I can't say too much on that. Kind of my final thoughts and, how fun the game is. Do I recommend it? I don't think the game is terrible. I don't think the game is great. It's just kind of in between. Basically, when I've sat down and played this, I've just been... I expected a little bit more because I was somebody who really liked World War II that Sledgehammer Games made before. That game just felt like classic COD, and that's what I think I've been chasing and why I keep playing Call of Duty every year. You keep hoping for kind of that return to the old, Black Ops 2 days and that classic COD feel. You don't have that with this game. This game feels a lot like Modern Warfare 2019, but your players are a little heavier. The guns are a little heavier. Your movement's heavier. I'm not going to necessarily say clunky. I know a lot of people have said clunky. I don't think it's that. It's just they have tried slowing down your player models and stuff, which I do like. The bad thing with the slide canceling and different things like that is you can really fuck cameras over playing Modern Warfare 2019, which obviously, all of us players probably have done that, especially... all of you in the comment section who are really good players, you use that to your advantage, and that's completely understandable. I did as well, but I just miss the good old days of, again, when you go back and play Black Ops 2 and some of those games, that's what I'm hoping for. So that might sour my judgment a little bit. Just wanted to get that out there as well. But anyways, again, final thoughts. Is the game fun? I have fun at times. Again, it's just a really sweaty game, and that's, again, just because it's the first, weekend for the beta. It's only on the PlayStation. You're going to mostly have content creators, pros, and just people who play COD all the time and that are good players. So is it fun? My final thoughts, is it worth buying? If you're a COD fan, yes, I mean, it's probably worth buying. They do need to fix some stuff, which I think they will. But the thing that worries me the most about this game this year are the maps again. Are the maps better again than Modern Warfare 2019? Yes, but, we haven't seen anything else. And some of the maps they added to Modern Warfare 2019 later, those were better, and they made the game more playable. Again, Modern Warfare 2019, I think, was one of the more frustrating CODs I ever played. But again, poor maps, I think, is really what hurt that game, and that's what worries me about this game as well. Again, are the maps as bad as Granza Raid or Euphrates Bridge? No, they're not that bad. But, I kind of want to see some more to determine that. And like I said, that's my biggest concern going forward. Again, you got to fix the clarity, you got to fix spawns. The view kick on your gun, again, when you're shooting, your gun's bobbing everywhere, and again, when you get hit, that it feels like there's a lack of toughness in this game. So, but anyways, I kind of wanted to give you guys kind of my first thoughts. I kind of did this off the cuff. I had some few things that I wanted to talk about, but sometimes I think you get a more of an honest opinion, when you're doing things off the cuff, and that's kind of why I wanted to do this review. And get this out for those who, haven't played the game. You're trying to decide whether or not to play the game, and just kind of a background about me and kind of my style. I have obviously want good maps and good balance. That's what's most important to me. because if the game is balanced, you can have a lot of fun. There's going to be variety, and again, with good maps, you know, and good variety with the perks and the guns, you're going to have a solid game. But again, I want to know in the comment section kind of what you guys think about the game, and you know, are you having fun on the beta thus far, or are you looking forward to it next weekend if you have PC or Xbox? But again, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for any of you who have stuck around this long to kind of get my final thoughts and impressions on the game, and we look forward to seeing you next video. So have a good one, guys, and again, if you like COD content, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.